I'm Dorothy Brown. I was president of Rosemont from 1979 until 1991.
As the 9th president of Rosemont, Dr. Dorothy Brown marked her term as the school's first layperson, a milestone in the college's then 55-year history.
And it was obviously going to be a time of serious change. The other thing that was very apparent to me was the fact that the sisters, who were really taking on a whole new whatever by taking me in, they wanted me to succeed, and I could feel it. And I used to say to myself, though, in the summer when they would have their various retreats and meetings here, I must be the only woman in the world that has 200 mothers-in-law coming for the week. Because you had to be careful. I mean, you couldn't have an untidy library or whatever. But it was really, really very good.
Married and with 2 young daughters at the time, President Brown was leading a school losing its living endowment, the Sisters of the Holy Child Jesus, the order that founded Rosemont, but also staffed the college from the boardroom to the classroom. Their numbers were stretched thin.
Apparently here, Cardinal Doherty was a great source of support for the sisters. But with the Holy Child Sisters, he actually, when they wanted to start the college, there is a letter in the archives that says he will be responsible for the financial well-being of Rosemont College. So I took it at one point down to the Archdiocese when I was going for a meeting, and I showed it to, I guess it was Cardinal Bevilacqua, and he said, "Try and get it."
Coming of age as a scientist in an era of women's fight for acceptance in academia, Dr. Brown was sensitive to the plight of religious women, too.
I guess I never really appreciated the difficulties that they had as communities of women, religious, in the 20s and moving forward. But if you read the archives, you get a sense of the sisters literally living in the attic of main building while the students are enjoying fine dining on the first floor.
The task before her was to preserve the past and the influence of the sisters' mission to educate women, but to position the college to move forward with the fast-changing times.
Things were really changing, and yet I wanted the Catholicity and the nature of a women's college and whatever to be strong, and I rearranged the administrative structure a little bit. So I made campus ministry a direct report to the president as part of the President's Council. So it was campus ministry, dean of students, academic dean, and the development office. And we met weekly, but campus ministry did a lot of wonderful things to pull the students in. Trips to Appalachia at Easter time or spring break, and then the Christmas Mass and the throwing of the pennies from the balcony. Founders Day, we expanded, instituted Oktoberfest, but we always had a little religious activity along with it.
Moving Rosemont forward would take time. A major key was shifting a classic liberal arts curriculum to include studies that would support a professional career path.
One of the hard things, the faculty was a purely liberal arts faculty, and it took me 5 years to get the business major through. And then they put a cap on the number of students that could be in the program at 10, but we were able to work past it. My idea to the faculty was the times are changing, and students are not all going to be able to go on to graduate school, medical school, law school. They're going to have to get jobs, and so we have to think about ways to encourage that and get them set up. And we were trying to get beyond student teaching, which was a requirement for the education degrees. We had students going out and kind of trailing graduates in different professions. We introduced the first master's program. We had a 10-year plan, which we were able to accomplish so that the budget was balanced, the financial aid was in place. I mean, every day you watched every penny, but it needed those changes to keep it on the right track.
With her many plans in place and accomplishments being recognized, Dr. Brown was appointed to serve as a delegate to a meeting on higher education at the Vatican. Oftentimes, she found herself at Philadelphia's archdiocesan offices for less auspicious reasons.
I was always getting reported for some violation to downtown. Well, the first one was that I had let a non-Catholic take communion. So I made an appointment and I went down to see Cardinal Kroll. And we talked a bit, and he said to me, "You know, I have never really been able to tell the state of a person's soul by looking at their tongue." And he just dismissed it. But he talked about the faculty member that had reported me for this. And so he said to me, "I have no business meddling in the affairs of the college, but if you have a problem, let me know, and I'll help you." So that was fine. So then he said, "Do you like bourbon?" And I said, "Well, a little bit." We got out 2 8-ounce tumblers, and out came the bourbon.
Now at the crossroads of Rosemont's 100 years, Dr. Brown still holds close a graduation moment that reflects the Rosemont spirit.
We put in a program, and Sister Teresa Ryan ran it, to support students academically. And we had a student that was taken on probation, and Sister worked with her very carefully. And I remember it was probably her junior year. We were having the academic convocation, and this student made the dean's list. And she turned around and hugged Sister Teresa Ryan. I can still see it. I can see where they were standing, and I thought, this is really what it's all about.
And she believes engaging the Rosemont spirit today can become a tool to moving society forward.
There is such divisiveness in society, and just trying to address that with a diverse student body and try and pull them all together is going to be a monumental task.
Still, Dr. Brown is hopeful Rosemont can reach out to meet the wants of the age.
When I was inaugurated and I didn't really give a speech, it was a series of comments, and I didn't appreciate it, but at the end I said, "I promise you that Rosemont will continue to address the wants of the age and not be found wanting." Rosemont can celebrate having done that these many years, and I congratulate them for the 100 years. And even though having been president and I felt like I was 100 years old when I left, I still have enthusiasm for the operation. Cheers to Rosemont. Onward and upward.